I started back in 1975, and I moved up and I got my own restaurant on Fowler Avenue in Nebraska. Jane was one of those employees that worked with me out there, and we've been on the McTrain for a very long time. For me, it's been 47 years, and for Jane, almost 42. So that's a lot of years that we've been under the arches. But the purpose in this room is we want to brag about ourselves and the opportunities that lie within our company for all of you. I want to tell you a little bit about Casper's and who we are. You may know already that we own 60 McDonald's restaurants. 51 of them are here in Tampa Bay, and we have 9 up in Jacksonville as well. But we're a lot more than just McDonald's. We own the Oxford Exchange in downtown Tampa, across from UT. Anybody ever been to the OE, as we call it? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful multi-use space, really nice restaurant in it, and some other businesses as well. We also own a sister restaurant on the campus of Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital called The Library. We own a service company called CSC, Casper Service Company, and they are a facilities maintenance division. They fix restaurant stuff, ice machines, grills, fryers, everything within a restaurant. They do remodels, they do installs, and they service over 2,000 different restaurants in Florida. All our competitors, the Outback brands, the Darden restaurant brands, Hooters, Wing House, you name it, we service all of them in the restaurant industry. We also own Riverside Recovery. It's a drug and alcohol rehab facility on MLK at the river. We're building out a restaurant on Water Street downtown called Predalina. It'll be Mediterranean themed. And we own the Stovall Estate. It's a private club on Bayshore that opened a year ago now. We employ over 4,000 employees, one of the largest employers in the state, in the Tampa Bay area. One of the larger ones in the state as well. So what does that mean to you? It's opportunity. All these other companies, peripheral companies we have, are being run by former McDonald's employees that have grown with the Casper brand, if you will. But for you, I am going to talk mostly about Casper's company and the benefits that lie within. One of the questions that was asked was, well, what did you have to do because of the pandemic, and what things changed for you in your company? And I talked about benefits. We had to amp up the benefits. So I'm going to go through some of them that you probably have no idea about, but they're pretty sweet for our employees. So, what we offer, and you can read it up here: flexible scheduling, pay time. I'll go into detail about these things in a moment, but I'm just going to read this list to you. Pay time off, discount meals, free uniforms, a 401k program, McD perks discounts. McDonald's has their own program. You get discounts, oh my God, to everything, from TVs to travel to and everything in between. We have cell phone discounts, child care assistance, tuition assistance and reimbursement, theme park and movie discounts, discount bus passes, lift code, and a whole lot of mo. All right. We have a crew referral program. Jane, you want to talk about that a little bit?
So how our crew referral program works: once you get a job with us, if you refer your friends, Everybody in high school's got friends. You can earn $50, $75, $100 for every person that you refer that gets hired into our restaurants, depending on the shift they work, if it's a peak time shift that we're looking to really amp up or whatever. So it's an easy way to make money on the side. It's a side hustle with just your friends, family, anybody that you know that's looking for a job.
What I have found in my time, when I was still running restaurants, we didn't have a referral program back then, but it seems like a good employee that is enjoying their job invites their friends to come in as well. Hey, it's a great place to work. You might want to come in. And now we could turn that into a side hustle for you if you start bringing in some of your friends. By the way, whatever I go through, if any of you have a question, just throw up your hand and we'll be happy to answer it. Any questions on this? It's pretty simple, the crew referral program. Yes. I got to get close so I can hear you. Go ahead. Is there a limit to how many friends? You just want to do a complete takeover, don't you? Come in. Absolutely. Well, no. There is no limit to how many friends you bring in. However, when you talk to your friends, you better slap them upside the head a couple of times. Hey, I referred you. Don't screw up when you come in because my name is on the line because you referred them. So you want to make sure you refer some good people that come in. Another question? These are available to all employees. When do they? Crew referral, first day. Oh, yeah. There's a bunch. We're going to go through them. And it says the requirements there as well. Okay. Casper's crew medical plan. At the crew level, the entry level, having health benefits had been completely unheard of because turnover is relatively high at the entry level. So we're going to read these. There's some time constraints regarding this. So, an active employee of Casper's company, you are eligible to receive health benefits if you choose to enroll. Your insurance will be effective 60 days after your first day of employment. Below is a look at some of the available benefits, and it's medical, dental, life insurance, and short-term disability, and the costs for them. For medical, biweekly deductions start at $22.55. For dental, bi-weekly, and we say bi-weekly because you get a paycheck every 2 weeks. That starts at $8.90, and life insurance, bi-weekly deductions start at $8.50. A lot of employees that are young are still covered under their family's medical insurance, and they choose not to get it, but the ones that need it, maybe that aren't students, it's certainly available to them. I would think this would not apply to most of you, but if you have a child and you need child care assistance, this is huge. I did not realize how expensive child care is until I had kids, and my wife and I had to start paying for it. Oh my God, it was so expensive. And this helps. And here's what it is. Casper's has partnered with the Early Learning Coalition to assist our employees in finding affordable, accessible, and quality child care. And how it works. Individuals and families are welcome to apply for financial assistance through the School Readiness Program. If you are awarded funding, there will be a daily parent fee that is based on your level of income and the discounted ELC weekly rate. For example, your daily parent fee is $7 and your child attends daycare 5 days a week. This would total to $35. Then the ELC weekly rate decided by the daycare is $45 in total. You would only pay $80 for an entire week of daycare. Now, if you look at most places, it's usually around $350 to $400, and you're paying $80. That is significant. Am I accurate? Okay. This is something that might apply to you if you don't have a set of wheels yet. All right. We have a bus pass and a lift code available for our employees. 1 to 3 days per week is $60. 4 or more days per week, that means if you work 1 to 3 days per week, get $60. 4 or more days per week, $80. 50% bus pass cost is payroll deducted. So in other words, you're going to ride the bus for 50% of what they charge you, and we'll just make that a payroll deduction. On the lift code, a $50 code is issued every 30 days. $25 is payroll deducted. So you get a lift code. For the $50 lift code, you're only going to pay $25 for it. Any questions? Aight? You're young. 401k. What the? 401k. I'm a kid. This is how you become a millionaire. You start at a business that starts putting some money away for you, or matching some of the money that you put away for yourself and your future. 401k programs are your initial ticket on how to become a millionaire young. If you do this properly and you fund your 401k and your business starts offering you a match, it becomes huge. But you got to qualify. So the qualifications, you must be 18 years old, and all of you are on the cusp of that right now. You must complete 1 year of service. I mean, this is a big investment in you. We want to make sure you're going to stick around. So after you're around a year, then we start putting into the 401k program. You have to work an average of 20 hours a week. Company match is based on the company profits every year. I got to tell you something. I've only been with the company 47 years, and we've been pretty profitable. And the 401k program has been really, really good. I'll bet I won't give you details. It's been really good. And how to enroll. When you are eligible, you enroll online. We have a Casper's Crew app, and you just go online and you enroll. It's very simple. Or we have people like Jane that can help you through it. This is another new thing that we have available for our employees, and it has to do with mental health. Has anyone in here had any stress in their life? Raise your hand. Yeah. I think we all have. We have what's called a McResource line for you to call, and it's not to complain about your teachers. Okay, yeah, you can. You can. Yeah, you can. It's fast, it's free, it's 24 hours, and if you've got something that's really pressing on your head and you need a purge valve, there it is. your McResource line, you give them a call. And it's not free to the company. There's an expense for us, but it's free for you. Any questions so far? Once I get through all of these benefits, then I'm going to have a candid conversation with you. We are from our perspective about Casper's. All right. PTO. That's good stuff. That's when you get paid for doing nothing. Paid time off. So the vacation thing, this has been around forever. After 1 year of service, you get 1 week paid time, or you get 1 week's vacation pay. All right, after 3 years, you get 2 weeks, and you can see it. After 5 years, 3. After 10 years, 4 weeks pay freebie. So whatever your average salary is, you get paid that on that week off. That's been around forever at Casper's. That is nothing new. We have always had that. And I've got 4 weeks paid vacation every year. It's sweet. Now, this won't apply to you, but maybe it might apply to someone you know, someone that you refer that does not have their high school diploma. If you want to move up in our company, move into management, you got to at least have a high school diploma. So we have people that have come to us from all walks of life, and they do not have their diploma. So we pay them to go to school to get their GED. We partner with Hillsborough County Schools, either online or classroom options. And we don't only pay them to go to take these classes. When they graduate, how much is the bonus? $200 bonus for graduating to say congratulations. That's a nice thing. So McDonald's has an online high school, has a flexible schedule, and it is available, not only available to you, but to your family members as well. I want to go back. Let me go back to this online thing. There's another. I don't know if I have a slide for it or not. Is this English Under the Arches up there? I don't think it is. I want to talk about English Under the Arches, which is a program McDonald's has to teach working English to those that are having trouble with the English language because they speak another one. And it doesn't matter if it's Spanish or Greek or any other language. It doesn't matter. We teach English Under the Arches under the same premise that we do with getting your GED, except English Under the Arches takes longer. It's a long, and we pay you to come to our office to take these classes, to teach you working English. And once again, when you graduate, you get $200 as a congratulations. And I got to tell you, I've got stories of our employees that didn't speak a lick of English that have come to this country looking for an opportunity. I think of Demas when I think of this. Demas Alvarez came from Panama. He didn't speak a word of English. Smart guy. Started at McDonald's at the crew level and started taking English Under the Arches so he can be successful here. Did not, just like most of us that start at McDonald's, it was just a job for him at the time. But we embraced him. And he went through English Under the Arches, and then he went into our management training program. And then he moved up. And then he moved up again. And eventually, we handed him those keys to run a multi-million-dollar restaurant as a general manager for us. And then we, like that picture with Quan Prince up there, he's one of our GGMs. We handed him the keys to his company car. And now he is running one of the busiest restaurants in our company and making over $100,000 a year. And he didn't speak a word of English when he came to this country. So the English under the arches is not it may be a small thing in some of your mind, but for a lot of our employees, it's a new lease on life. For some moms that didn't speak much English, now they can communicate at the grocery store with the kids' teachers. It's with their doctors. They don't have to be embarrassed. They can now communicate. It's a great benefit that we have. Very proud of that one. Casper's company tuition reimbursement program. Probably a lot of the companies you're going to see here have something like it. Ours is very generous. At the crew level, you can get up to $2,400 a year on tuition reimbursement. Plus, you can compete and submit for an additional $2,500 scholarship. We give out $30,000 a year internally to our employees with scholarships in increments of $2,500. The tuition reimbursement isn't just for tuition, it's for books as well. So some companies don't do that, but we do. That's a really awesome benefit. And if you go into a management level, then that $2,400 turns into $5,400. And we've got employees getting their master's degree. We have an online program where they can get their degree online 100% paid by us. Let's see. Any questions on that? Yes, sir. Yeah. I don't know. So where you would learn. You know, I don't know that, but that's something that I will find out for you. I wonder if we have McDonald's in France. They have the French frange under the arches. I don't know. Learning English under the arches in France may not do you any good. For English under the arches, or the tuition? That's available under the entire Casper umbrella, under all of our businesses. And I tell you, I'm the one that approves these checks that go out every quarter. It comes out of my budget. Holy mackerel. We give out a lot of money. It's a great benefit. And even if we're a waypoint for you, if we're not a full-time job for you or a future career for you, all right, you're going to college. You know, let's say you choose to go to a community college. You go to HCC for a couple of years. What a great way to pay for it, and to take that expensive nut and kill it. It's a great benefit. This talks about those $2,500 scholarships that we have available that you can apply for every year. All right, next, you're going to hear some eye stories of our employees and their journey through Casper's, where they started and where they have landed, where they are right now. And I think, well, not that I think, I know, these faces that you're about to see on this screen here are you. When I'm here and I speak to students, either in the schools or in this environment right here, I just don't see you as students. You are these faces that I hired 100 years ago that are now running the company. You know, they were the scared kid that came in and got the job and decided to stay. And I hope you can see some of you in some of their stories. All right. Do I have to click something here to make it play? Let me try it. See what happens. I didn't do that. Wait a minute. Let me try clicking, see if I can just click through. Can we dim the lights at all up front?
It's on a video, it's on a different file.
Okay. The normal PowerPoint, I just click on it and it plays. This is not the normal. Okay.
No, I mean, it is the normal, but whoever set up the thing didn't attach it or whatever.
Oh, I hope this plays. Do you have to take it to full screen? Okay. While they're working that out, I'm going to tell you two stories about some employees that I hired. So I'm at a junior achievement event. It's a donor appreciation, I think it was a breakfast. And if you know anything about junior achievement, they are supported large by the companies in Tampa Bay. So there was big money in the room. All, Tech Data, the Lightning, the Bucks, the Rays, you name it, Sykes Enterprises, they were all there. Big money was in the room. We had we had Casper's company was in the room. So they gave out the thank yous, they gave out the awards, and after the event, this tall, attractive lady comes walking over to me. And she says, "Excuse me, are you Bob Canigliaro?" Yes, I am. Yeah. Well, I kind of knew what was coming. I said, "Did we work together?" And she said, "As a matter of fact, we did." She said, "When I was 16 years old, I was scared to death. And I applied at the Carrollwood McDonald's restaurant. And you, the big guy, you hired me." I was the general manager at the time, that location. I was relatively new. And she said, "I'll never forget that first day when I came in, you, the big guy," she said that over and over, "you took me out into the restroom, you took me into the bathroom, and you showed me how to clean the toilets and the urinals." She says, I couldn't believe it, that the big guy was showing me how to clean toilets and urinals. She said, "I have to tell you, Bob, today in my law firm," Mingya, she had her own law firm, "I still tell that story to let the principals of my company know how to treat somebody new that comes into this firm." So I'm telling you that story to make this impression on you. Our industry, our company may not be your career vision. You may have different, bigger, deeper, wider, further visions, but we could be a great waypoint for you along the way. One other story. I know you're ready to play, but hang in there for a second. It's 1979. I'm running the Fowler Avenue restaurant that Jane and I worked at. It was during the Iranian hostage crisis. Now, how many of you really know what that is, what it was? Some of you do. Let me explain on you what it was. It was the day Iran was taken over by the mullahs to turn it into a religious state. They seized the American embassy and took hostages. And I think there were 15 of them. I'm not sure what it ultimately boiled down to, 15 of them, I think. And Iran was not very popular here in the United States. They kept them hostage for 444 days. And I'm running Fowler Avenue. I had just turned it into the busiest McDonald's in the state of Florida, turning it into the first restaurant that's open 24 hours on Friday and Saturday nights. It was just so busy. So my night manager comes to me and he says, Bob, I got these 2 applicants. He said, but I mean, they're college students. They look I don't know if I should hire them. I said, why not? Because they're freaking Iranian. So I told him, I says, look, we're busy. They can work overnight. I said, I want you to hire them. And he says, but I got rednecks on late night. I said, I don't care. If they give them a hard time, you fire them. But we need help. Give them a shot. So he hired them. And it was a guy and a girl. The guy's name was Farhad, and the girl's name was Farzone. And they were hired, and they were great. They were superstars. Farhad, he went by Fred. He worked at night, and he was a really good employee, and he got along well with others, and was our overnight superstar. Farzone, her schedule changed. She transferred to day shift, and I got to work with her. And she was like 3 people. She was amazing. She did an incredible, she won Employee of the Month, you know, her first full month there and whatnot. Outstanding. And I got promoted to area supervisor, and I moved out. I don't know what happened to Fred. But in early 2000s, my phone rings at my desk at the office. And he says, Bob Canigliaro, yes. He says, this is Farhad. I saw your name in the newspaper. I couldn't believe you're still with McDonald's. He said, I went by Fred back then. He said, this is a long overdue thank you. He said, back in 1979, I was out of money. There were no opportunities. Nobody would even look at me, let alone give me a job. He said, but you gave me a shot. And I just want to thank you. So, sitting at my desk as the tears are rolling down my eyes, he told me, today, I own one of the towers out in the Villages, and I have a stable of restaurants out there, and I am doing very, very well. I want to thank you for giving me that opportunity. That girl, that chick, Farzi, in July, on the 17th, I've been married to her for 40 years. Can we play? I click it? Okay. All right, here we go.
Started in
Crank it up.
1975 as a manager trainee.
Started when I was 16, sophomore in high school.
I started as a crew back in 1980.
I started in 1975 as a manager trainee.
Started when I was 16, sophomore in high school.
I started as a crew back in 1980.
1988, and I started off as a grill guy.
2007 as a crew person at the Sefner location.
Almost 23 years ago, started as a crew.
I started September 5th, 1984, and I was a fry guy.
I started in 1982 as a fry girl.
In 1986 as a grill guy at Oldsmar.
1974, and I started on milkshakes.
My goodness, a long time ago, 32 years ago.
And I believe 1999, and I was 14 years old.
Favorite thing about Casper's company is how they value their people.
Blake, Allison, and Robbie really go above and beyond to take care of us.
Shoulder to shoulder from the top down. I think, you know, as high as Blake Casper, he's shoulder to shoulder with his crew people. He's in the stores, in the kitchens, you know, making Big Macs, having fun with the crew, and that doesn't happen in most companies.
I also love the opportunity to change people's lives. I think that this job changed my life.
Well, you're not a number here. You have a name, you have a personality and a soul, and they treat you that way.
I think it's just an environment that you never feel alone.
Regardless of what you're going through, you know you always have support.
An open door policy doesn't, it's not a thing in a handbook, it's a real thing.
We treat everybody as a family, and we want everybody to succeed.
Reward them when things are done right, and also give them the opportunity to learn and grow on their own as well.
You can always reach somebody. There's always somebody that's willing to help. All you have to do is pick up the phone.
They want to make sure we have everything we need to succeed.
Over here, you get to be your best self and impact lives, and we impact more lives than anybody in the course of a day in what we do.
What you learn at Casper's are skills that you can bring anywhere else.
Personally, I have grown exponentially.
They teach you how to become leaders, first of all. They teach you how to become leaders. They train you, they motivate you, they give you all the tools that you need.
So I think for anybody, if you work for a company and they're focused on being the best and wanting to win, you can carry that on in life.
I definitely saw that it was just more than just burgers and fries. It was P&Ls, and it was so much more of the business than I even realized. And I was like, wow, I can take a handle on this. I can do this.
The culture has always been one of inclusion, open door policy. Everyone has benefited from having an interpersonal relationship with others.
I've had some great mentors over the course of my career, different people that have come into my life at the right time.
Casper's cares about its people versus other companies who just look for a dollar sign.
I think anybody in this company is special. We all have each other's back. We're there. If there's no problem unsolved, somebody's going to be there to help you.
Casper's offers many, many benefits. The list is just never ending. You can take advantage of so many great things here.
The benefit that I have appreciated the most is our education benefits.
401k.
The things that the general managers get, like the company cars.
The classes that I've been through. I think going to Chicago was an amazing experience as far as team building.
Taken advantage of the Make a Resource line a couple different times.
We have a very generous service award program here where at every 5-year increment of service, you get rewarded.
Casper's brings out the best in you because they have all these things in place to help train you and make you better.
The way people believe in you and kind of encourage you to not just do the bare minimum, but to take advantage of not only all of the benefits that Casper's offers, but the opportunity for advancement and for growth.
As long as you have a positive attitude, you can go far.
If I can do it, anybody can do it. There's no doubt in my mind that the next president is a crew person or a manager or a supervisor at Casper's right now.
The potential for growth and gains within the company is the sky's the limit.
Oh, the sky's the limit. The sky is the limit.
If you give it your all, you will love what you do, you will have a blast, and the sky's the limit.
The sky is really the limit. At 64 stores now, We have nothing but potential for candidates that are working in the stores to learn the system and to benefit from the training that we have and to move up in the ranks and really make this a career.
If I had to describe Casper's company in one word, I would say opportunity.
Legacy.
Fabulous.
Awesome.
Loving.
Excellence.
Opportunity.
Friends.
Everything.
People.
Compassionate.
Amazing.
Loyal.
It's a family.
A family.
Family.
Big family.
Family.
Definitely family.
Family. It's such a big family.
Just fun. It's just a fun place to be.
Family and fun. I think we take our jobs very seriously, but at the end of the day, we do a darn good job of having fun and making sure that the workplace, which can be stressful, is not that way, and that we got each other's backs and we have a lot of fun doing it to make sure that our stores are running right.
trade show. Have you been there yet? Yes, some. Okay, well, you might want to go back and stop at our table if you haven't already. I'm Christine Horner, and this is Liz Duffy, and we're just going to jump right into it, okay? How's it sound?
We all have moments worth celebrating, moments that will change our lives forever. But how do you make those moments feel special?
Hi, how are you today?
Great.
Great. What brings you into town?
Just had my first grandbaby.
Congratulations.
At Marriott, our associates get to take part in big moments every day.
Perfect.
We get to help people from every walk of life feel special all over the world. Whether they're visiting a loved one, toasting to success, or tasting their wedding cake for the very first time.
Thank you so much, Brandon. I don't know how you guys are going to do this, but I'm so excited for you two.
We're here for it all. Be a part of life's biggest moments. Join the #1 leader in hospitality, where we offer more than just a job, but also a chance to make an impact and build a career. Join Marriott International.
Okay, now you're going to hear a little bit about the history of our company, 95 years.
It's a wonderful American story. My mother and father were married. The same day they got married, they jumped into a Model T Ford in Salt Lake City and they drove to Washington. They had no money. My grandmother loaned my father $200 out of the cookie jar. And when they got to Washington, they had $60 left. When they got here, they moved to an apartment with some friends, and they opened a 9-stool root beer stand in Washington. When the weather got cold, they went in and started selling hot dogs and hamburgers and chili and hot tamales, called their restaurant a hot shop. And she was his partner in the business the first several years because they had no kitchen in the little hot shop, and so she would make the food in her apartment, in her kitchen, and bring it to the hot shop. My dad was very focused on giving people opportunities. The philosophy of the company was born back in 1927 when he said, if I take good care of my people, they'll take good care of the customer, and the customers will come back. I was working in the finance department at the age of 14, clipping invoices together. In the 4 years that I was in college, I worked every day almost in the hot shop in Salt Lake City. I fell in love with the business. I loved the tempo of it. I loved the fact that it was so different. I got out of the Navy, I came into the company in restaurant operations, and we just opened our first hotel at Twin Bridges, and I went to my dad one day and I said, why don't you let me try and run this hotel? He said, well, you don't know anything about the hotel business. I said, I know, but neither does anybody else around here. And so they gave me the responsibility to supervise that first hotel and then to open the second hotel, and just kind of went on from there.
So imagine in 1927, the company opened with a 9-seat root beer stand, and today, 95 years later, managed and franchised 30 brands, over 8,000 hotels. Yes. Pretty impressive, right? So what does that mean for the world of opportunity? Because those 8,000 hotels are all not domestic. They are worldwide in 101 countries.
Yes. So we represent the two hotels right here in downtown, the Marriott Water Street and the Marriott JW, right across the way. And we have over 30 brands to showcase, and out of those 30 brands, each brand is different. So when I say the Marriott Water Street and the JW Marriott, those two hotel brands are unique because we cater to all different types of guests. So maybe when you go to the mall, who likes to go shopping? All right? Do you go to all the stores at the mall, or just the ones that maybe fit your personality or your preference, right? So same thing goes with our guests and our associates. When they come to Marriott, they might not want to stay at a Marriott. They might want to stay at a Moxie.
To be a CPA. And then I totally changed my mind, and I stayed in food and beverage, grew through all different positions in food and beverage, and then realized the talent aspect of the role, or just working with the people, mentoring and developing, and finding the right job for the right person was what I liked doing best. By the time I left operations, I was managing 10, 12 managers, and I said, I don't want to deal with managers anymore. I want to deal with the people, and I want to help people be who they want to be. So when people come to orientation, day one, I tell everyone the same thing. Marriott can be exactly what you want it to be. My general manager, actually, Ron Mackinac, sat up here earlier, and he already said it to you. It can be a job. It can be the best job you have in the whole entire world. We have restaurant servers that have put their kids through college, food on the table, have done everything they wanted to do. And then you have people like me and Christine who have made it a career. It is your journey, and it's a journey of multiple opportunities. I started in Maryland. I worked at the Orlando World Center. I then moved to Philadelphia. I was in Philadelphia for 15 years. I worked at 5 different hotels in Philadelphia. I'm on my 4th hotel right now here in the Tampa area. So the opportunities are endless, and what you want it to be, it can be. And whether I know a lot of you want to be entrepreneurs, I have a 20-year-old son right now that tells me he's going to be a millionaire and never work for anybody by the time he's 30. But you know what? Peter up here couldn't have said it any better. You need companies like us to help you get there, because you do need to understand the business. And whether you be working in the front desk, whether you work in housekeeping, whether you work in food and beverage, whether you work in engineering, whether you work in accounting. And then the best part about our company, too, is you don't have to stay in a hotel. If you decide you want to do a more professional job, we have professional jobs within the hotels, but we also have corporate headquarters where we have lawyers, we have architects, we have all kinds of positions. So Marriott isn't just only about working in a hotel. It's a company with a lot of opportunity in hotels or corporate headquarters. And we have 30 brands, and I'm sure you'll find the one that fits you.
So we want to talk to you about Marriott and that we are hiring. We have an array of positions just at the 2 hotels here in Tampa. A lot of these positions, you start out, like you heard earlier today, entry level, and you put in the hard work, and you can absolutely move in a career with Marriott. After 6 months in a role within our company, you can let your leader know that you're interested in maybe something else, a different opportunity, and you can apply and advance your career into a different role within the hotel. Just because you start as a server or maybe a dishwasher or a busser, doesn't mean you're going to end up there with Marriott. It is a world of opportunities. Your leaders are your best mentor. They'll help you and support you along the way. If you start out and you want to be a sales manager, they can help you in that path. At Marriott, we have a lot of career development opportunities and job shadowing opportunities. So if you want to learn something, we like to double code our employees to learn different opportunities. If you have a different skill, you can help out in other departments. So it's really a huge family at Marriott. And these are just some of our benefits. I'm going to let Liz talk to you about a really cool benefit that's coming up here in May. We have a week-long celebration just for our employees. What other company does this? Just to celebrate you and everything you give to us as an employee at Marriott. And it's a fun-filled week. I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about that.
So we call it, it's Associate Appreciation Week. 95 years it's been in place, because Mr. Merritt's philosophy truly is, to this day, the same culture is, if we take care of you, you'll take care of the guests, and the guests will continue to come back. So we have 5 days of nonstop events. So we'll start off at our associate entrance, whether we're feeding you breakfast, feeding you lunch, doing smoothies, having someone come in, do fun exercise contests, raffles. Last year we culminated with food trucks. We just have so much fun, and everybody just gets to do whatever they want to do. We take tons of pictures. We give away a nice gift. Last year we gave away these beautiful windbreakers that they've become part of people's uniforms now. We didn't know how much they would really like them. So it is truly all about you. It's not just our hotel. It is a company culture. It's Marriott Associate Appreciation Week, and it's always usually the same week in May every year. This year it happens to fall on May 16th to the 20th. But one thing I want to add to what Christine said, to going back to learning opportunities, one of the best things that I love about this company is we have an incredible learning platform. And Marriott is recognizing more and more on a daily basis that people do want to learn and develop. And some of them don't necessarily want to learn and develop in the position that they're in. They want to develop skills that will enable them to be something different. So we have all of these free classes. Some of them are Cornell University courses that you can take on our learning platform, and to help you with your own career and development and help you be who you want to be.
And in addition to that, who loves to travel? Who likes to go stay at cool hotels? Starting day one as an associate with Marriott, you get that travel discount perk to stay at hotels worldwide. And it's not just good for you, it's good for your family and your friends. But you want to be careful who you share that discount with, because it's a reflection of you. You don't want someone renting a room at a hotel and doing something they shouldn't be doing, right?
And then if you're someone like Christine or me, and you love the company so much that you decide to stay for 25 years, you get to become a member of what we call the Quarter of the Century Club. And you know what that means? And Christine's going to experience it for the first time. Whether we work for the company or not, when available, we can stay for free the rest of our life.
Free rooms for life. All right, who wants to come work with me? All right,
25 years of service.
All right, guys, I got to tell you this. So I am an area recruiter. I like to find talent like you, high school students that maybe they don't want to go to school right away, or maybe they want to take a year off instead of going to college, right? You want to make some money. You want to get into a really fun, good company of people. Come and see me. Our guests, they love to spend money, all right? This is my QR code. You can go on there, you can scan it, see all of the jobs at my hotels here in the area that we offer. Also, too, I'm on social media platforms as a recruiter. I have a TikTok, I have an Instagram, I have a Facebook. My name's Christine Horner, and my cards are across the way. I just want to let you know, maybe one day you could be on my TikTok. All right, have you seen me? Was I on your For You page?
So we're not going to spend time going through all the benefits, because, you know, we do have so many to offer. But we're going to give you, we have like 3 minutes left. What kind of questions do you have for us?
Yes. Age requirement.
So depending on which position, you can work for the company at the age of 16, but if you are working with food and beverage, alcohol requires you to be 18 years old. Okay? So, yeah, you have it required. And, you know, the law tells us, too, that if you're 16 or 17 years old and you're in school, we have to work with you. So we will make sure that your hours fit your school schedule, and we will also make sure you maintain your grade point average, because that is our responsibility.
It's one of my favorite candies.
We have a question over here. Do you guys offer like part-time?
We do. We offer part-time. So if you were to go online and fill out one of the applications, you could put your availability in based on your preferences, and our leader would contact you to screen you over the phone and then call you in for an interview. And based on what you put down, we could fill in the gaps of our schedules. One thing with hotels that's really fun is we're open every single day of the year. We never close, all hours, right? So sometimes it's nice to have a weekday off instead of a weekend.
So, sure. So in food and beverage, we have dining room attendants that help bus the tables. We have food runners that help deliver the food. Servers, clearly, that wait on the tables and take care of them from a customer service perspective. Bartenders who tend bar. We do have recreation attendants. We have spa attendants that are like front desk clerks. We have front desk position opportunities. We have housekeeping positions, whether not necessarily even cleaning rooms. It could be lobby attendant. We have, oh my gosh, what else do we have from behind
Safety
the scenes?
and,
Safety and security officers.
Some examples of a job a 16-year-old could get: housekeeping aide.
You can be a food runner. You can do a dining room table. As long as you're not a dining room attendant, as long as you're not touching the alcohol.
You could seat guests at tables.
You can be a front desk agent.
How does the tuition reimbursement work?
Tuition reimbursement.
So tuition reimbursement, you have to be with a company for at least 90 days first, and then once you become available, then what you do is you choose the class that you want to take, and then you would have to get it pre-approved. Marriott would pre-approve it, and then you would pay for it up front, and then they would reimburse you.
Yeah, and it's an online process. So the other great thing with Marriott is once you're hired, you have your own HR portal at your fingertips, so all of this is accessible via your mobile device or your computer, which makes life very easy, as well as your time card.
And I'm going to just reiterate one thing Bob said, whether it doesn't matter what company you work for, because it's a mistake I made, because I never thought I'd be with Marriott as long as I am. We have a 401k as well. Invest as soon as possible, because you can become a young millionaire. I was with the company for 8 years before I started investing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to say that. But if they offer you that opportunity and they're going to match a certain percentage of what you put away, I guarantee you, you won't regret it.
Yes.
And the best thing with a 401k is if you do leave a company or with us, is that money is yours, and you roll it into another account, and you just continue growing. So if I can give you any piece of advice, any company you work for, if they offer that benefit, take advantage of it right away.
Absolutely. And the stock today is insane.
The stock today,
190.
we were lucky to be told. You know what Marriott's value is? $192. That's
per
our
share.
stock,
And it keeps going up.
So.
All right.
Any other questions? One more over here. So she asked me what a guest relations agent does. So we call them guest service experts, and that would probably be a front office associate. We do sometimes have different scholarship programs that our corporate headquarters works with, yes. From the hotels, no, but at corporate headquarters, yes.
All right, who wants to come work for us? I got cards. I'm here to answer questions. We want you on
join
our
us across the way at the trade show, and thank you for your time. I told you this was going to be the best one of them all.
Thank you. Yes, there's a new hotel, by the way, the Edition over here on Water Street. That's going to open this summer. That's the first 5-star hotel coming to Tampa, and that's part of Marriott. Yes. All right. Oh, card? Thank you. Do you need another card? All right. Thank you guys so much. You guys have been great.
of Hospitality and Tourism Management. Thank you for being here in this session. And I'll be available after this session into the trade show area, exhibition area, where if you have any questions, please come and see me, and I'll be more than happy to guide you. Now, of course, I've been a student, and these days when I go to my classes, I see very clearly that 95% of my students do not want to be me, right? They don't want to go for a PhD, don't want to be a professor, don't want to teach. They really want to go into the industry and work. Now, of course, because of that, I cannot ask you directly to come to USF and study, right? You're all in high school. The last thing you want is for somebody to come and tell you, come and get another degree. However, there's a lot of benefits, a lot of opportunities that come to you when you get your undergraduate degree and your education. Now, I'll talk about it, and I'll have wonderful partners to School of Hospitality who will come and talk to you a little bit about the opportunities that you have. But before we do that, I have a wonderful friend of mine, Santiago. He is getting late for lunch, so I'm going to get him a few minutes here to come and talk to you about the width and the breadth of the industry and the type of opportunities that you have in this industry. Santiago, thank you.
Thank you, and good afternoon. And I'm so glad that you are all here, because we don't get to tell the story of how big our industry is to young people. And I've had a chance to chat with some of you individually since this morning's panel. And your interests are so varied, right? Graphic design, culinary arts. Somebody was talking about video production. Somebody was talking about hotel management or the theme park industry. I actually met someone who is working at Busch Gardens and is looking to move through that company and do bigger and greater things. And yes, all of those things are possibilities. And one thing we didn't talk about this morning, and we had somebody who was an entrepreneur, is that you can start in the industry, you can go to the University of South Florida or any other university for that matter, get a degree, work in the industry, and save money, and then decide that you want to open your own restaurant, that you want to go into business for yourself, you want to have your own graphic design firm, you want to do your own video production. You can do that if you save your money and not work for somebody else, become your own boss. And you'll learn some of those skills at a university, how to be an entrepreneur, how to invest your money, how to be smart about growing your own business. So yes, you can stay with us and have a long and very fruitful and prosperous career, or you can make the money to invest in your own business. And you will have so many opportunities to do that. I've known individuals that have worked for a restaurant company, a restaurant chain, Outback, right, or McDonald's, or you name the restaurant chain, and they've started their own business. They've started their own restaurant. They've made enough money, they saved their money, and they invested in starting their own restaurant. We've had folks that have worked for us doing graphic design or video production and have then started their own company, and now we hire them as a company to do work for us. So again, the sky's the limit with opportunities. I'm so impressed. Someone was telling me that this was a field trip for some of you and you paid to come here, which I think is incredible, that you have that kind of interest and you're here looking to the future, because some of you are juniors, some of you are seniors, but you're already thinking about the next step. And that's so very, very important. So whether it's, a post-high school career at USF or UCF or UT or wherever it is, St. Leo's, fantastic. If it means you're ready to come into the industry, fantastic. But know that there are a lot of doors that you can walk through as soon as you finish with your high school career. And so I'm glad I had an opportunity to talk about how wide the industry is. If you have an interest, there's probably a job in the industry that matches that interest. There is a job for you. We didn't talk about the airline industry today. We didn't talk about the shipping industry or working at Port Tampa Bay or at Tampa International Airport. Incredible jobs there. You talk about working for an airline and traveling the country, traveling the world, getting to see these amazing places. If you work for Delta or Southwest or Frontier or you name the airline, you get to fly all over the world. And they need employees as well. So again, so many options for you. And education exposes you to those options. So again, I'm glad I was able to open up here, and you're going to hear from some great people. You're going to hear from our friends at Busch Gardens. You're going to hear from our friends at the University of South Florida. So many options right here in Tampa. So many options. Most of us are not made to leave home. I didn't leave home. I lived in Miami, studied in Miami, didn't leave Miami when I was your age. I went from high school right to the University of Miami, studied close to home. So some of us are built to stay close to home and have our careers here and live here. Some of us are made to go and get our education somewhere else, come back or not come back. It's all about your individual choices. And so again, if you choose to stay here or in this area, there are many, many options available for you. So, Doctor, appreciate you giving me an opportunity to open up for you. I know you're going to have a great session.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so thank you, Santiago. Here's something I'll tell you. When I was in high school, I was deciding to, about my major or whatever to study. I have a cousin who is a doctor, and I always wanted to be like him, like a medical doctor. And he told me something very interesting about hospitality. He asked me to go into hospitality, and the reason he told me was many people who visit hospitals, right? Because, I mean, my intention to go to become a medical doctor was to save lives, right? To make people happy, because a lot of sick people go to hospitals, you treat them and all that. So he told me many people who get to hospitals are sad. Of course, nobody is happy to go to hospital, right? But many people who go to hospitality are happy. How many of you are sad and then you go to a vacation? Everybody who goes to a vacation, Busch Gardens, Marriott, right, all these different properties, restaurants, it's to really go into a happy occasion, to celebrate the occasions, right? And I have never regretted being in this industry. To be honest, I think, yes, some of you may be questioning, why did you not become a doctor? Because there's a lot of money in there, right? But there's a lot of other factors that go into that. Now, of this hospitality, I will invite one of our other partners, Jeanette. She is from Mainsail, and she's just going to talk about how can our partnership with Mainsail Lodging and USF help you and provide you some other opportunities if you decide to come to USF.
Thank you, Dr. Faisan. And as he said, we have a strong partnership with USF. For those that have not met me before, I represent Mainsail Lodging and Development. I'm the Corporate Director of Human Resources. And I already spent some time talking to some of you. And the story, or the words that I keep hearing, because usually you come to my table and I ask you, okay, what's the future looking like for you? And most of you have told me, I really don't know. And I responded back to you was, it's okay not to know. At least you have an opportunity to be here today, because I didn't have that chance. When I graduated from high school 30 years ago, and yes, I'm that old, even though I don't look like old, I didn't have the opportunity to come to these forums, and I have no clue what I wanted to do in life. I just follow the steps of my older sister, because I wanted to be very much like her. And I remember saying, I don't want to work because I don't want to get, you know, I don't want to get away from my path or my goal. Well, fast forward where I am today, I wish I had the opportunity to explore and have the opportunity to work, even as a part-time job, as I was attending school. What I'm getting with this is that with the partnership that we have with USF, it all ties down to if you get, you start your education and you start also working, don't look at it as the, oh, I'm really not interested in making money. Some are and some not. That's okay. What having a work is going to teach you is life skills. You get those life skills, you get the opportunity to meet people. That is going to put you you're going to be exposed to this world where you get to meet people, you get to meet your coworkers. Someone is going to be looking at you and it's going to start paying at those skills that you have. And it's while you work in this industry, as you said, you have QR codes all over the room, and if you have scanned those, there's probably going to be more than 5,000 jobs open between all together. So many, many, many opportunities. wherever you want to go, there's going to be a job open for you. That job is going to bring you is the opportunity to meet people, to define what you want to be, where you want to be. And we, and many of my partners here, offer benefits that can help you figure out what you want in life if you end up joining USF. Because some of my partners offer tuition reimbursement. So if you're worrying about how am I going to be able to pay for my education, you can get that from your parents if you're lucky. You can get that from working a little bit, or we can get you the opportunity to offer tuition reimbursement. So that is one alternative, and you can start one step at a time. You don't have to have your whole life defined today, right now. This is just the door that is going to open you for many, many opportunities. And again, I wish I had that opportunity 30 years ago. Fast forward where I am, I started a very entry-level job. I cleaned rooms, I did housekeeping, and I worked my way up. I always knew that I wanted to help people and work with people. And I figured out that working as a human resources manager gives me the opportunity to talk to people, meet people, and help them. So I feel that tremendous joy that someone looked at me and saw those skills and thought me to start working in hospitality and ended up getting this amazing career. So thank you.
Thank you, Jeanette. Okay, so thank you again, Jeanette. Wonderful opportunities, tuition reimbursement. What better than having a company pay for your tuition, right? And then you have a short job as well. So after they pay for you, you also need to work for them. So it's a win-win for you. And plus, Jeanette, I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, but once they get their degrees, they fast track to management positions, into management trainee programs and stuff like that, right? So pretty cool. Now, I'm sure all of you live in Tampa Bay area, right? Yes? So the good thing about USF is just up until like 2 weeks ago, the hospitality program was only in Sarasota campus, not offered on other campuses. But 2 weeks back, we got an approval to offer the program on all 3 campuses for USF. So USF, right in your backyard, you probably don't even have to leave your home, right? You can just join the school and everything. Now, with that, now we are talking about your backyard, right? How many of you have seen those roller coasters when you are on Busch Boulevard or somewhere around there, right? You have seen them. So we've got some wonderful people from Busch Gardens. We are starting a partnership with Busch Gardens, and they've been so amazing, saying yes to pretty much everything we ask of them. Shelley and Michelle, both of them will also come here and talk to you a little bit about the opportunities that we are planning, that are in place, so that you can think about all these opportunities you can get by coming to USF. Shelley, Michelle, thank you.
Hi, you guys. My name is Michelle Cups. I'm one of the senior managers at Busch Gardens and Adventure Island. Shelley and I both are really thrilled to be talking to you. I have to tell you, I'm a Gaither alumni, so I didn't see any Gaither alumni in here, but that's where I'm from. I'm born and raised here in Tampa. My mom used to send me to Busch Gardens in the summers and would drop me off with $20, and then some other parent would come and pick me and my friends up from Busch Gardens. We'd kind of hang out all day. And so when I decided, my mom said, hey, if you want a car, you got to get a job. That's kind of how it all started. So I was 16 years old, decided to get a job at Busch Gardens. And then when we found out that Busch Gardens does tuition reimbursement, she said, hey, you're going to stay. You're going to continue to work at Busch Gardens as you go to Hillsborough Community College. I finished there, and then I went over to USF. One of the nice perks about working at the park is that we truly do work with availabilities to make sure you have an opportunity to go get your education. I'm a big alumni of the University of South Florida, and it just provided a great opportunity. Also, once you get your foot in the door, which I feel like a lot of the panel members talked a lot about, is about getting your foot in the door, is that it's about networking. It's about building your relationships with other people and finding out what do you really want to do. Because when I got out of high school and I was working the roller coaster at Busch Gardens, I had no idea what I was planning to do. And then I started to excel in my job. People started to notice that I did a good job, and then they started to offer me other opportunities and saying, Michelle, what do you think about training? You're really good with working with people. So I started with training, and then I worked over to human resources, and then I really got a great opportunity to go and travel the world with Busch Gardens and hiring people internationally. So for about 10 years, I have spent many weeks in Asia and Europe and all kinds of different countries, just getting exposures that I never thought when I was starting my job at Busch Gardens as a 16-year-old. And then I wanted to make sure I introduced Shelley Drew. She's our in-park revenue vice president, and it's really cool because she kind of has a very similar story of just starting out and then figuring out what you kind of want to do and see what opportunities maybe your employer currently has.
Great, thank you. As you guys know, I was one of the panelists earlier. My story, like Michelle says, is very similar to hers, and I told you the story about when I was your age, my hands were dyed pink because of my very first job. I stuck with it, and it was because I had that love of people, and I really liked interacting with guests and providing that hospitality to them. Because again, remember, people don't come to the theme park, people don't come to a vacation to have a terrible time. They want to have a great time, so half of our job is done. We just have to continue to encourage it. What I did, I worked my way up through the ranks at SeaWorld. I went back, I was at SeaWorld of Ohio. I went back every summer as I went through high school and then to college. I actually graduated college with my elementary education degree. But at that point, I had already been, I was an area manager of food and beverage at SeaWorld of Ohio. So my vice president tapped me on the shoulder and said, "I'm moving to Dollywood, come with me." So I up and moved to Dollywood. I spent about 4 years there. That same person tapped me on the shoulders and said, "Hey, if you're going to stay in this theme park business, why don't you come on down here to Florida?" Tapped me on the shoulder. I went with him to Universal Orlando, where I spent 26 years. I started there as an area manager, and again, through hard work and growing and developing, I worked my way up the ranks. I was a senior director when I left there. The last 5 years of my career, I was in the back of the house part of hospitality. I got to go to the back of the house for hospitality because I understood what it took to operate a restaurant, what it took to engage in people. So when I went to the back of the house, I was asked, please help our back of the house folks understand what the folks that are dealing with our guests, what they have to deal with every day. So when you're working in a warehouse, when you're doing all your food ordering or production orders, if something happens and it doesn't go right, the company's out of stock and they're not bringing in those chicken fingers or those turkey legs. Communication's a huge piece, because what does that happen if you're in the front of the house and you don't have those items? You don't have them to serve, and that's what the guest is wanting. So communication was a huge piece, but that's why they asked me to go to the back of the house, was to really help them understand what it's like to be a front of the house operator as well. With that, and I do not have a degree in architecture, I'm going to tell you that right now, but I had the opportunity from an operational standpoint to actually help build the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and build the restaurants over at Volcano Bay. Those were huge. City Walk, if you've ever been over there, City Walk was another area that we remodeled those restaurants and we rebuilt those restaurants. Well, I was very, very lucky and very fortunate that I got the opportunity to come to Busch Gardens, Tampa. I'm recently there. I've been there this is week 14, and I will tell you, I just love everything about the company. I love everything about the culture. I look around, and when we talk about careers and growth and development, you know, you see those, when you go to Busch Gardens, you see those team members that are on carts or in restaurants or ride operators. But there's so much more to our little city than just all those people see front of the house. When you're talking about going to school and building your careers, there are careers in our back of the house system that revolve around finance, revolve around training, revolve around HR and employee relations. There's so much more than just what you see in that front of the house. It really does take a whole city to run that operation over there. And all of that stems off of careers. And it gives you the opportunity, as you're going to school, furthering your education, if you get in at that starting point, I'm going to encourage you, look around your companies and see what other career opportunities are there. Could you go job shadow somebody? If you're interested in a career in finance and you think that's what you want to do, talk to your manager, talk to your supervisor. Ask them, is there an opportunity for me to job shadow? I want to learn more about that career. I want to learn more about that career opportunity. So I know this is a scary time for everyone, because when I was your age, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I found my passion, and I love what I do to this day. But I did it because I asked questions. I asked mentors, I asked leaders, I asked them to job shadow, and I just continued to ask them questions as I grew my career. So that's what I want to encourage all of you guys here to do today. As you find your footing and as you get in with companies, if you don't like what you're doing immediately, start asking around, see what other opportunities there are for you, because this is a big world, and there's a place for everybody in it. So anyways, that's all. Thank you so much. Doctor?
Thank you. All right. So last but not the least, I have my dean here, who is the Dean of School of Hospitality. He was in another meeting. I just pulled him out of that meeting so he can talk to you a little bit about the scholarships and stuff. Dr. Jihan.
Thank you, Dr. Faizan. So I have 1 hour with them? Okay, I'm kidding. Good. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jihan. I'm the Dean of the School of Hospitality at the University of South Florida. Did you have lunch? Oh, not yet? How many of you had lunch? Okay, those of you who had lunch, did you like the food? Who said yes? Let me see the hands. Yes? Okay, the ones who say yes, you need to go to hospitality industry. Who said no? Who didn't like the lunch? The ones who say no, you need to go to hospitality industry to make it better, right? So hospitality industry, as all of our speakers have said, is an unbelievable industry. In Florida, what's #1 industry? Agriculture or tourism? Tourism is #1. And now the amazing news is that hospitality education at the college level is now coming this fall to University of South Florida Tampa campus and St. Pete campus. We were in Sarasota traditionally for the last 15 years, but as of this fall, and the other great news that I want to tell you is that when you come to University of South Florida, we would love to have you. We have a lot of scholarships. And I'll tell you one more thing is that we are the only hospital school in the world that has a partnership with 100+ hotel company. So when you come, you are going to learn the Hilton way. You are going to learn the Marriott way. You are going to learn the Hyatt way and IHG and Choice Hotels. So you are going to get this, and then I'll tell you one more thing. I'm going to just finish it there. Today, Mckibben Hospitality is one of our partners where you are going to, hopefully, if you come to USF Hospitality, you'll actually shadow some of the programs over there. We'll get you some great jobs. The president of that company started as a houseman in a hotel, as a part-time job in Mckibben. From there all the way now, he's the president of 100+ hotel company. So this can happen. Our friends here from Mainsail, Busch Gardens, they can tell you many, many stories like this. So this is not a job, not just a job that you get at McDonald's, but you build a career out of it. And it's a beautiful, wonderful career that you can have a wonderful life, a lot of good money, of course. And then best of the part that I love about hospitality, how many of you love to travel the world? See, that's what I say to people. When you're in hospitality, you're going to have a life of a millionaire without being a millionaire. So you'll travel. I visited 80+ countries. You'll be doing the same thing as well too. So we love to have you at USF. So finish your high school, come and let us know, and we are happy to have you in Tampa or Sarasota or St. Pete, one of our 3 campuses, and get you wonderful jobs with our amazing partners while you're at school, so you are ahead of the curve. Anything else, Faizan, we need to add? Many, many, many scholarships as well too. We would love to find bright students like you. Go Bulls, absolutely. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay guys, so I know many of you didn't have your lunch. We are finishing, but we will be in the exhibition hall. I've already talked to some of you there, but if you have any questions, please drop by. I'll help you with whatever questions you have. Thank you once again. Thank you.
afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If the people on that side of the room want to win big prizes, they might want to come a little bit closer. If they don't want prizes, that's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew Houghton. Which country am I from? The United Kingdom, exactly, the United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you some stories which I hope are relevant to your life. Firstly, things are not always what they seem. What can you see on this picture? Yes. Hey, what? You see a rope. Anybody see any spaghetti? It looks like a straw, doesn't it? But it's not what it seems. The hospitality industry is not what it seems. I was always asked about what is the art of a great conversation? Not that. The answer I always give is the fact that the art of a conversation is being able to ask a question and hear the answer. Okay? Ask a question and hear the answer. The next slide you see has some words written on it. The first person who can work out what the words say, I want you to raise your hand and I will call upon that person. Is that clear? Feel comfortable? I think this gentleman's hand went up first. Excellent. Now remember what the previous slide said. It was about listening and following the direction. What was the direction I gave? Yes? Ask a question, get an answer. But what I said was I'm going to show it. Yes? Raise your hand. Okay? Many of you did what I would do, is I shouted the answer out. Right? But I didn't listen to what the question was. So hospitality is all about listening. How many old men and women have you seen today? It's a lot of us, isn't there? A lot! But this is a young person's game. It started for me many years ago. In 1978, I came to America for the first time, and I was a counselor on a summer camp in the Poconos. Where was I a counselor? You didn't hear. The Poconos. Where is the Poconos? It's in Pennsylvania. You don't need to know where it is. Lovely, lovely place, Pennsylvania. But I got involved in the hospitality industry, as you've heard of many of my colleagues, because I started as a busboy. I ended up as the corporate officer of Marriott Corporation. Right? You've heard my colleagues talk about Marriott earlier. I started when the company had 80 hotels, and I left when it was 7,500. I then became an entrepreneur. So the journey that you're going to take is one that will give you many, many opportunities. I'm British. I thought I would never leave Britain. I thought there's many talented people in the world. Why would they need me? But I was given the opportunity to go to work in Egypt. Have any of you been to Egypt? Put your hand up. Ooh. This gentleman here. When did you go to Egypt? Nice and loud. What did you see? Did you like it? When did you go? 5. Wow, how lucky are you? I had to wait until I was 28 before I went to Egypt. But I went to Egypt. I came from this hotel in London, which was the first Marriott, and I thought I was very, very clever. I was the director of sales and marketing, and my boss said to me, Andrew, I think you should go to Egypt and become the director of sales and marketing of the biggest hotel in the company. Do you think I was worried? I was terrified. But you know, I had great people around me, and I learned from great people. And I became quite good at sales and marketing, I have to tell you. But there was a point where I said, I want to do something differently. And when change comes along, it's often because people tell you you can do something you didn't think you could do. And this person said, I want you to be a general manager of a hotel. What was my first job? Busboy. Okay? And then I was thinking about being the general manager. And so somebody said to me, Andrew, you can now go to Turkey, Istanbul. And in Istanbul, we're going to show you how to become the general manager of a hotel. I was the hotel manager, 630-bedroom Conrad Hotel. It was a job which was extremely challenging because no longer was I at the front. I was always with the heart of the people. But I learned again from great people. This is now the third country I have lived and worked in. And when you live and work in somebody else's country, you become very humble because you have no rights. All you have to do is get up in the morning and work twice as hard as the person standing next to you. Otherwise, you'll be asked to leave. I was doing really well. I then became a general manager in Saudi Arabia, my first general manager job. Put your hands up if you've been to Saudi Arabia. This gentleman, whereabouts?
I'm not exactly sure. This is Bahrain.
Bahrain, not Saudi, next to Saudi. Okay. We're in the holy month of Ramadan, so you know that Saudi Arabia is the custodian of the two holy mosques. And for those people who observe Islam, it is one of the things you have to do in your life. If you can, you go to Saudi Arabia to perform a pilgrimage. Many of us observe religions of different parts, but I went to Saudi Arabia and I worked in a 500-bedroom hotel, and there were 500 men who worked in that hotel. Women were not allowed to work. There was no alcohol. So the food and beverage department was quite small. We lived and worked together, 500 men. We lived in a compound and we went to work every day. I'm pleased to tell you today that Marriott has appointed the first woman general manager in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And that's some 20 years later. It just shows you how things change over time. But Saudi Arabia gave me my chance to be a general manager. And I always call it sitting in the lonely seat. Because everybody around you can tell you what to do, but ultimately you have to make the decision. One of the jobs I did in America when I had some time, do you know who this person is? Prince. Did you want to hear the story? Okay. So I went to California and I was between jobs and I had to earn some money. And so I went to a chauffeur company. And I walked in and I sound like this, you see. And I said, could you give me a job? And he said, yes, you can be a chauffeur, driving a big stretch limousine. Start on Tuesday. I went on Tuesday. I put a hat on, got in this car. And he said, your first job is to go to this address. So I went to this address in the California Hills. Who's been to California Hills? Pretty nice, isn't it? And I drove this stretch limousine up this winding road, and I came to these large metal gates. And the gates were open, and I drove the car in to the driveway, which was circular. And this circular drive had gravel on it. And as I drove across the gravel, you get this crunch, crunch, crunch. I stopped the car outside the door. I put my hat on. I went to the door and I pulled the bell. The bell went ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. The doors opened and this gentleman came out dressed as a butler. He had a morning coat on, nice tie, And I said, I am here from the chauffeur-driven limousine company to pick somebody up. I don't know who I'm picking up. He said, you are going to pick up the artist formerly known as Prince. Now, you can tell looking at me that maybe it's the Carpenters I know about, or Frank Sinatra. Prince was a bit ahead of the time for me. So anyway, the gentleman came out, Prince came out, and he's quite small gentleman. I opened the door for Prince, he got in the back of the car. I closed the door, I went round the front of the car, I got in my seat, I took my hat off, I started the car, and I went around the driveway, came to the big gates, and I said, excuse me, sir, which way would you like me to go? He said, do not call me sir. He said, you will call me the artist formerly known as Prince. So I said, artist formerly known as Prince, which way shall I go? He said, you go wherever you want to go. So I turned right and I went down the hill, which wound like this. And I came to Pacific Coast Highway. I said, artist formerly known as Prince, which way shall I go now? He said, you go anywhere you want. Turn left or turn right, just go. So I turned left and I went south on Pacific Coast Highway. I said, artist formerly known as Prince, this is a very long road, and if we keep going on this road, we'll end up in Mexico. Where would you like me to go next? He said, you are an impertinent, rude person. I want you to turn this car around and take me back home. Now, if you're driving a stretch limousine, it's not easy to turn this thing around, you know? I had to pull off, I turned it round, I went back along Pacific Coast Highway, I turned right, I went up the windy road, I went through the gates, across the gravel, went to the door, opened the door. The artist formerly known as Prince went inside his house. He called the limousine company and said, you have to sack that man. He does not know his job. I went back to the shop and the guy said, I'm sorry, you really upset this artist formerly known as Prince. I don't know what you did to him. I said, I told him the story. And I was devastated. Now, let me ask you some questions, because if you remember the first slide you saw, it was of, what was the first thing you saw, the slide? The rope. Second slide? The ear. Listening, right? I'm going to ask you some questions. Put your hands up and answer the question. How big was the car? Stretch. How did I enter the house? Big. How big were they? Big. What was the sound I heard? When I got out of the car and I rang the bell, what noise did it make? Pardon? Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Who appeared at the door?
Man dressed as his butler.
Butler. Okay. What did the gentleman who came out tell me to call him? The artist formerly known as Prince. Which way did he tell me to turn first time? Sir. Oh, trick question, trick question. Wherever you wanted to go. Which turning did I take when I reached Pacific Coast Highway? Incorrect. Incorrect. Pacific Coast Highway. No. Which way did I turn? Left. If it's not right, it's left, right? What did the artist formerly known as Prince say to my boss? Sack him, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's almost to the end of this presentation. How sad are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 10. I didn't hear you. On a scale of 1 to 10? Who's 9? 9. Well, that's okay. I've got improvement. I can get better. That's good. I like it. Now, why did I tell you that story? Oh, stand up. Shout that one out. Did you hear that? You have to choose your own path and you have to make the right decisions. That story is not true. However, it describes the life that I have led. There have been times when I've had to make difficult decisions. There have been decisions I had to make which were something I knew nothing about. The moral of this story is if I put a big slide up there with all that information, you'd forget it. When you don't see me later on this afternoon, you'll always remember the artist formerly known as Prince. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you see on this slide? How many people? One. Who sees two people? You are right, sir. It is one person. Remember, things are not always what they seem. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Andrew Houghton. You can find me on LinkedIn, which if you don't use that social media, you should when you're applying for jobs. LinkedIn. Andrew Houghton, Mainsail Lodging. I sat where you sat, and I wish that somebody had inspired me as much as I hope I have inspired you to get involved in hospitality. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Do any of you have any questions? Sorry. Pardon? What was on the bottom of the screen? You mean these words? Count the teaspoons. That's when I became a resident manager. I was in operation. And somebody said, you've got to go and count teaspoons. So what do you think I did? No. No. I asked somebody who was very experienced, how do you count teaspoons? He said, you weigh them. You weigh teaspoons. Because in hotels with hundreds and thousands of rooms, there's an awful lot of teaspoons. You can't count 1, 2, 3, 4. You weigh them. Like that one? Well, you know. Any other questions? Pardon? This one, Andrew Houghton. I beg your pardon at the back. Did you have a question?
No, I like the explanation to your comment.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any other questions? I've lived in 9 countries on 4 continents. I've been general manager 5 times. I was in charge of the Ritz-Carlton company in China, my last job. So lots of opportunities. Now I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a partner in Mainsail. So I took my money out of my pocket and I put money down and I became an entrepreneur. The most frightening day of my life. Anyone else? Sorry? Oh, I have driven a limousine, but not for the artist formerly known as Prince. No, no. Ladies and gentlemen, give yourselves a big round of applause and go whoop whoop.
have your attention, please? Incredible Hillsborough County students. You are amazing! Amazing! I hope you garnered some really good information today. This power panel up here impressed me. They touched my heart with their stories, and I hope you're taking away some great information and hopefully some great jobs as well. We're going to wrap this thing up. Oh, let me ask, who had an interview? Who's going to be hired? All right, this is incredible. This is... You guys are bringing tears to my eyes. This is wonderful. That was the whole point of this, was to open up doors of opportunity for you. If you're not ready to go to work, I'm sure you got some great information, a great education here, listening to some of the people that are responsible for running this community. So it was certainly of value. And speaking of value, behind me, I got some gifts I'm about to give away to you. Wait a second. I gotta qualify that. If your numbers match the number on this little bucket over here that I'm gonna pull them out of. So, before I do that, one more time, I want to recognize the two ladies that helped put this together. There were a gazillion moving parts to make this happen. Another round of applause for Ms. Suzanne Matthews and Larissa. Okay. Now, one more thing. Did we or did we not class this up by having Serena Fazan as our MC over here? Huh? I think that put us over the top. So I know what you're thinking. Shut up, Bob. Pick my number. Okay. The winner of this first pack. You're gonna help me close it? I'm gonna help you close it, Bob. Oh. Can I give you a hug for that? That was so nice. Oh yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Guys, it was such an honor for me to be here.
Is that being streamed? My wife is watching. Oh, my God. All right. All right. All right. All right. The first prize is very simple. It's a McDonald's Arch card for $25. Now, we're gonna sweeten the deal literally. Whatever table you're at, everybody's going to get a free dessert. At that table as well. All right. Let's read it.
The number is 649-396. Or is that 648? Sorry, 648-396. Here we go.
All right, here we go. I need you to help with these. All right. Make sure he gets that. He's it.
Thomas, congratulations.
You're going to go and help give that? Okay. She got it. Did you give him the basket? Hey, don't. Oh, no, that's the basket's the next prize. Okay.
You may need to read them, Bob, because clearly my eyesight isn't the best.
All right. Do we have any hockey fans out there? I've got an Alex Killorn signed puck and some other Lightning paraphernalia in here. It has a certificate of authenticity, and the winning number is 648373. Congratulations. All right, I got another $25 Arch card. And it's yours if your number is 648555. Six, 48555 must be present to win. All right, Serena must like you because she picked your number. If it is 648507. There you go. Oh, I see it. I see it. That's it. That's it. She's going to come and reward everybody there as well. This very nice package from Visit Tampa Bay is all yours if your number is pretty much 648. You're all in it. 4. It's so funny. One number and half the room is pissed off at me. All right, okay. 23. 423. Wait, let me see. You're it. All right. Did you get him? Okay. All right, $25 Arch card. And the first 3 numbers are? Correct. 6486. 23. Wow. Are you psychic? Because you started walking up here before I even finished. You knew you were going to be a winner. Congratulations to you. All right, this is yours, and everybody at your table is going to get a card too. There you go. All right, you all are waiting for this one from our friends at Busch Gardens Adventure Island. This is 4 complimentary admissions to Adventure Island. Wow. Plus some other good stuff. All right. 6, 4, 8, 3, 8, 5. I think you just made a bunch of friends out there that want to go with you. Way to go, man. All right. What? All right, you're next. We are going to try and pull your number. All right. A $25 arch card. 2. 380. Madison, there you go. That's for you. Okay. We're going to do one more arch card for 25 because this is a big one behind me. We're saving this one for the end. All right, $25 arch card. 648617. No, 617. All right. You know the first 3 numbers. The last 3 are 5, 2, 1. We've got a winner right there. All right. There you are, sweetheart. You're all set. All right. I think you guys know about how much it costs to get into Adventure Island. I have no idea. I think it's somewhere around $50, $60 to get in. The last one that went out had 4 of them, so that's worth a good chunk of change. This one is for 4 admissions to Busch Gardens. That's over $400 worth in value here. Plus a parking voucher, which is another, I think, $200 in there. And some other goodies. For the last prize, I hope it's your number. $648, and the last numbers are 464. Four, 6, 4. Oh, 4. I said, that was the wrong one. The last 3 numbers are 464. 464. It's still alive! All right. I so hope this is your number. The last 3 numbers. 586. That's you. That's you right here. Congratulations, sweetheart. You're welcome. That's, ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap. God bless all of you. Have a safe trip back to your schools and a safe summer vacation that's just around the corner.